How you
No,
doing, man?
I am. I'm doing great. Doing great. I'm doing well. I'm doing press, mostly press today, but um, I never do. I literally never ever do interviews anymore. I never do. But it's been a lot of fun, man, because it's like you forget how much it is just chit chatting and kind of catching up with people and just talking about random bullshit. Because nobody
Mhm.
wants to really hear about the artist because that's boring. So we talk about everything else. So
Yeah. Mate,
yeah, no, I'm doing great. Doing great.
excellent. Well, mate, that is very much my vibe. People talk a lot of shit about him, but I like that, honestly, the Joe Rogan format of just someone gets on there and we just talk about fucking whatever, whatever comes up. It's usually music,
That's it.
sometimes it's not. So firstly, mate, so you're coming back down here to Australia. What can you tell me about your first impressions of Australia on your first tour?
Ooh, my first impression. Man, we were so drunk that first time we were in Australia. It was it just made me realize it really has and of course it turns into be a topic talking every time we talk about Australia, but it it's kind of like the perfect place for me because it has very European, but it's also it's a somewhat American feeling too because it's so big and open. It's just
Yeah.
so much different. It's different in Europe. It's like so tight and packed all the time. It's very. But Australia it has a little bit more of the landscape in one way, as I can say, as the U.S. And you have the outbacks, we have the deserts, you have the mountains, and you have the northern territories, and you have
Yeah.
it's such a it has so many things in common with the U.S. in one way. Except I feel like the U.S. is like 100 years behind, but um,
Yeah.
it's still a little outbacky here.
Yeah. I'll
But
take that.
I no, I love it, man. And that was the first thing I thought when I was in Australia, how perfect of that mix was for me,
Yeah.
and how it was just like my favorite things from both the U.S. and Europe. It mixed in with, of course, the uniqueness of Australia itself. Just from being
Mm.
Australia, everything fills you. Um, but it's beautiful at the same time.
How do Australian goths compare with their overseas counterparts?
It's I don't know, man. I feel like it's that's the thing, like metalheads or goths or like everybody you meet along the way with doing what we do, like that is so like I see a Nine Inch Nails patch, like
Mm.
it's kind of the same way. It's like we have incorporated so many different things over the years into our music. This and one of the artists that really kind of taught me, like, not personally but just from being a fan, it taught me that that's okay to just do different shit, just go with it, just do whatever you
Mm.
want. You're an artist. This is your canvas and your paint, like, don't repeat yourself. And one of those artists are David Bowie, that worked also very closely to Trent, and so there's a lot of the same mentality there, right?
Mm.
And the one thing that everybody has in common is that every single person that you meet who are into the different music styles, whatever it is, and they're so huge fans of it, they are very similar to the rest of the people who are listening to the same music all over the world. That's why festivals are so beautiful,
Mm.
because you find like-minded people. There's thousands, 100,000 people that are just like you. You're just like, oh my god! It's like
Yeah.
so you suddenly belong because a lot of people listen to are metalheads and rivet heads and whatever they are, hardcore kids or techno kids, whatever they are. They feel kind of lonely in their own way because they feel like they're outsiders. But
Mm.
then you come to a show or you come to a festival and you're not the outsider, you're among your people. And that's really how it feels, man. So that's the one thing that everywhere you go is home, you know.
Where was it when you first found your people?
It's I think uh I think it was pretty late. But I mean, like, not that I found my people way, way, way early. Like I was like 9. Yeah, I when I was 1984. I discovered Dead Kennedys, and that was, and I was like, I never heard anything like it. It was, this is mine. This
Hmm.
is mine. Well, everybody in my family was into music, but it was not that. It was metal. It was all kinds of different metal, everything from Sabbath to German speed metal and stuff. You know, everybody in my family was kind of like metalheads, but that was mine. I found my metal, which was
Mm.
not metal, but it's like I found mine. And so that was automatically my people. So like during the 80s, like early 90s, I was like around, always around the punk shows and the, then metal shows, and then you kind of I discovered industrial through Jello Biafra Lord, coming back into ministry and that kind of thing, and also Nitzareb, stuff like this. And I don't know, like I've just found my people through music. But before I found the people, I found my world in punk.
Mm. Oh, I like that. So I recently had a bit of a falling out with a friend of mine because he was really, really into AI and he wanted me to always check out this AI music that he'd created. And after a while, in a genre, power metal, that I'm just not a fan of, so I'm just like, dude, I I, I just don't want to hear. And if you're doing it with a text prompt, it's not real. And he 20 years of friendship thrown out the window and blocked
Yeah,
because I didn't want to listen to an
rightfully
album.
so.
Yeah, I'm
Rightfully
like,
so.
hey, curious, mate.
Yeah.
If someone comes up to you and says that they've used Suno or something to create an album, what are your thoughts on it? Have they created an album?
No, I mean, but it's one of those things. It's like just because you play a character in a video game doesn't mean that you're that person. So, and because you didn't, it's not you. It's
Mm,
just, it's not. It might be cool, but it's not you. It's just not you. But there's millions of artists before that I created that for them. It's kind of like spitting on people that came before you.
mm,
And I feel the same thing about art too. Like the other art, I do look at music as art. So, and the other art too, video and everything. I feel, but I got to say this too. There's going to be a time where we find the right way to use it as a tool, because it's not going away, and that's
mm.
the biggest. But that's the one that thing that I hate the most. It's not going to go away. It gets
Yeah,
more and more and more, and I mean, like, we're just heading towards Terminator. But until then, it's just gonna implement itself in daily life, and it's gonna be a tool, and it's like you can ride the horse in the carriage, or you can drive this new thing called the car,
mm,
automobile. You trust me, there was a lot of people who hated that back then, and I can't really compare it when it comes to creativity, because I mean, it did take the horses for job away, but
yeah,
it's not, but we still have horses, you know what I'm saying? it's
yeah,
not it's not that it's you can't, but the idea that you have to somewhat follow the times, right?
mm,
And it's such a complex thing. It's like you're making full things out with just prompts, and you just, oh, this is my artwork, or this is my song, or this is my video, or whatever. It's really, it's not. It's just an idea you based on, probably not even an original idea. You probably took the idea from someone too, and you prompted it out. You saw it somewhere, or you heard it somewhere. You listened to another song and you heard that, and you want to recreate that or whatever.
yeah,
So you're not, no, you're not an artist. However, I do feel like there could be potentially ways to do to income, to bring it into to production, for example, of music, where there is like mastering or EQing or something, where you can have a somewhat of a AI to run through. It's like, okay, you sit and it's driving you crazy. Why doesn't these vocals not sound right? And it's usually a EQ or like the way it's lined up. But you are at this point, you already wrote it, you already recorded it, you already used your voice, you already did all that work, and now you can implement something. There's no different than using running an analysis on something. You know what I mean?
Mm,
With a
mm.
computer. We've been doing it for a long time. It's just way faster now.
Yeah.
But for art, I'll die on that hill, man. That's not art.
Yeah, it's interesting because if I look at it from I do graphic art and graphic design, and I make up the thumbnails for these images. Being able to take for example what you can see in my window right now. If this was a still image, I would have had to use the lasso tool and chop 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 chop. Zooming in and to cut me out this background
Yeah,
would have taken
yeah.
me 10 minutes of really concentrated work. Nowadays, with AI and Photoshop, I can click a button and it will think for a
And
sec,
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
and that's great.
It Yeah, it's because it's a tool where it's not going to do it any better or worse. It's just you're going to do the job that would take you much longer to do,
Mm,
but it has nothing to do with creativity. It's
yeah.
something to it's a task. It's just another step as a task. It's like you're approaching something. It's not you're not creating something. You're approaching a
Mm,
task. And but like, but then again, you also get the other way around. People are so anti AI, and I have some amazing, amazing artists that I know, and I do a lot of illustrations and stuff myself as well. Every now and then you'll get like, oh, you use AI, and I'm just like, no, man, this is original artwork. It's like, but
mm,
whatever it was me or somebody else doing it, but. So people get to that point that there's certain things that are very obvious AI, and there's certain things where it's like, is it AI or is it not? It's
mm.
like, is it is it just us imitating AI at this point because we've seen so much of it? So now
Yeah.
we have to catch up with that kind of a quality, or that kind of a like it's a certain thing with art now, like where it's
Mm,
AI when it's a super realistic looking or whatever. And it's like, are we trying to imitate that now, or should we take a completely different direction and make something that is obviously not AI?
mm.
But then somebody can put that into AI and say, "Hey, recreate
Yeah.
something that
It's
looks
it,
like
it eats
this."
itself.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's itself, but it's difficult. But you know, I don't really care. People do whatever they want. That's not. It's not gonna make any difference for me. Like I know what I do, and I know myself, and I know my art, and that's what you have to. And I know people who really think the same way as me, and it doesn't really matter, man. Like I'm just here, you know.
um, I found myself. So you're in the States right now. Hey, this is where you operate.
Correct, correct.
Yeah, yeah. Have you had any pushback in the States over the name of the band?
Um, no, I mean, I've the only time there's been only two times where the name has been an issue, and it's not in the U.S. I mean, you there's a lot of like you stop at some truck stop in the middle of nowhere, so like y'all in the band, you know, and and it's like, yeah, what's it called? It's like COMBICHRIST, and it's like, what, Comedy Christ, um,
My
and but
sympathies
they
for Jay Gordon from the band
and
Orgy.
so what does that mean? What does that mean? And it's like it doesn't fucking mean anything. It sounded cool when I was a kid and when I started a band, but and we did. It was like we were offered a festival in Russia, and they were like, "Oh yeah, but it was such a like super religious area in Russia." So like, "Oh,
Mm,
we have to play under a different name," and I was like, "Fuck you," you know. And who wants to go
book
to
someone
Russia
else.
anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah. But and no, is we played a lot in Russia actually in the past. So it was but I don't see ourselves ever going back though. But and the other place was Dubai. Like they wanted to book us for Dubai. They wanted to do like 4 or 5 shows. It was like a crazy amount of money. But it's like, but there's a slight problem with the name, and I'm like, it's the same thing, man. It's like fuck yourself. Like there was I mean, it doesn't hold too much of a meaning anymore. It's mostly just the name of the band. But there was a time where definitely was a meaning behind it. It was definitely was a little bit of a pointing finger, and you don't abandon the principles of what the band was founded on.
Yeah, yeah. So what is happening, if anything, with Icon of Coil these days? How likely is it that we'll ever see music under that umbrella again?
I Breaking news. No.
Ooh.
I am working Christian in Icon Call and myself. We're working on new material. It's going slow
Mm.
because we're so busy, but it's something we haven't done anything for so long. It's not something that I'm in a rush to push through. But I'm doing another album. This probably will be the new and final album for Icon Quell. And we are also re-releasing the original albums on vinyl.
Hmm.
So there's things going on, and we do a show here and there where we're playing in Mexico City actually in October, and I'm really excited about it. It's not often we get to do it, so it's fun, but it's also not my priority. Um, but it is definitely 100% something I look forward to every time we do it.
Nice. Awesome, man.
As we do it, coming back to Australia. That's why I'm
Yeah.
actually here. Yeah. Yeah, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne. I'm
Hmm.
really excited. I'm
Yeah, man.
so excited.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'll see you in Brisbane, okay?
See you in Brisbane. I'll be there early. Actually, it'll be my 50th birthday
Hey, look
in
out.
Brisbane. I'm celebrating it in Brisbane on the 15th. So
Oh,
maybe I'll see you
beautiful.
around.
I love it, man. Have an awesome time.
All right.
Easy,
Thank
mate.
you, man.
Easy.